Hello guys, my name is Chef Sumit Pant and today is your first practical of the new semester and we are in the new normal, so we are taking classes online. Okay, so today I'm going to show you a dish which is known as coca win. Now coca win, if I translate it into English, it means rooster and not chicken. Rooster cooked in red wine. Okay, generally we teach in our colleges, in your institutes, that whenever we cook chicken, white meats needs white wine, but this case is a little different. In this case, we are using a chicken, but we are using red wine to go along with the chicken. Now, what actually is coca win? Coca win is chicken which is cooked in red wine. How it's going to be cooked, I'm going to show you. Before that, I'm going to go into a little bit history of coca win. So coca win comes from, is a very traditional, at the same time very rustic dish of France. In this, it is not like one day you wake up and you say, I want to eat coca win for lunch. No, it's not going to happen. You have to give it a night time, at least 12 hours time, to be marinated inside the chicken. Now the recipe is very simple. If we have 1 kg of chicken, you need 1 liter of wine. So this demands a lot of wine, right? So if 1 kg of chicken, 1 liter of wine, at least 12 hours of marination, you keep the chicken submerged inside the wine and leave it in the fridge for at least 12 hours. That is why I said it's not a quick recipe. However, it's a very simple recipe to make, but at the same time, it is not a quick recipe. It's going to take time, okay? Okay, so these are the ingredients. Here I have some chicken stock. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these things. This is the traditional garnish for coca win. We have some mushrooms and some shallots. These are cooked in pancetta, but again then we can't use pancetta in the college, so we're going to just cook it in oil. This is chicken with the skin. Okay, so we don't get rooster here, so I'm using chicken. I have put, if you can see, I've put some bay leaf, I've put some peppercorns, some onion and some carrots with the chicken. To this I'm going to add wine, which I'll be doing later on. Over there I have some salt and pepper, and this is beurre mene. I'm going to thicken the sauce with the beurre mene. So first thing first, I'm going to take some red wine and I'm going to marinate the chicken in red wine. So I have put, if you can see, I have put carrots also, bay leaf, peppercorn. You know, this will give some extra flavor in the chicken. So this has to go in the fridge for 12 hours and then we will start to cook. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put the stock on a slow flame for reducing, as well as I'm going to put this chicken on a slow flame also for the red wine to reduce. Here I've taken a pan. I'm adding a little bit of oil in this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sear my chicken pieces into this. So I'm going to take out the chicken pieces. So I've used here chicken with the skin. Once they turn into good brown color, I'll take them out. So the best piece to use if you're making a coca win, I would say, would be your thigh parts. Okay, those are the best thing to make coca win. But in case you're using a whole chicken, that is also fine. So I'm going to give some color to the chicken. And I'm also doing I'm simmering the red wine, and I'm also reducing the stock. So once I'm done with the color of the chicken, I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so our chicken has turned into a beautiful brown color. So I'm going to set this aside for resting for some time. And after this, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the chicken. So this is how you have to brown your chicken. This is the desired color that you want to have in your chicken. Alright, so what's happening over here is we are reducing the red wine and the stock is also being reduced. So like I said, we're going to thicken the stock. So I'm adding beurre mene. So what is this? This is an equal quantity of flour and butter which is not cooked. That is all it is different from your roux. So what it's going to do is it's going to give some thickness to the stock, and that is how we will obtain a nice sauce. Otherwise the sauce would be very thin if we don't add this. So the main purpose to add a beurre mene is to give thickness to your sauce. So you can see here the chicken stock is reducing, the wine is reducing, and the chicken has obtained a beautiful brown color. So it's ready to go to step number 3. We are ready to do the final thing, which is the garnish of coca bean. So in a pan I'm taking some oil, to which I'm adding the mushrooms and shallots. I'm going to saute the mushroom and shallots. Here oil is, I have substituted oil for pancetta because in college we can't use pancetta. So I'm just using regular oil. I'm going to brown them. Alright, so it's time to assemble. I have my chicken which I have browned. I'm going to put this in a pot. To this I'm going to add the reduced red wine. Alright, and also I'm going to add a little bit of the stock which has been reduced. So I'm straining, as you can see. I'm going to let this simmer for some time. To this I'm going to add half of the garnish that I have made. The rest I'll add later on. Now what I'm going to do to this is I'm going to adjust this salt and pepper. I like to use crushed peppercorn in this, and some salt to taste. Once this comes to a simmer, I'm going to transfer this inside the oven. I would also be checking the sauce in between. If the sauce turns thick, good enough. If the sauce is taking longer time to thicken, so what we can do in that case is we can take out the chicken pieces and let the sauce simmer. Once the sauce turns thick, we can keep the chicken back just to prevent the chicken from being overcooked. As you can see, it's already started to simmer. So I'm going to put this inside the oven for say 180 degrees Celsius for around 20 minutes. Something which is very traditional with coca bean is toasted butter in a pan. So what I've done here is I've taken a pan and I've put some butter and I've put some bread slice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to toast the butter, so toast the bread with the butter and turn them into golden brown. I'm going to serve this along with the coca bean. So this is something which is very rustic to go along with the coca bean, and this actually completes the dish, because as you see there is no starch in coca bean. So we are replacing the starch we are fulfilling the starch by adding bread. So this is done now. I'm going to keep this aside. It's been half an hour. The chicken was simmering in the oven. I've taken this out and this is how it looks. I'm going to put a spoon inside this just to check the sauce. We're going to do the sauce test. So I'm going to dip in a spoon inside, and the back of the spoon I'm going to run my finger. See this line? That means the sauce is ready. So the sauce is ready now, and we are ready to plate our coca bean. Time for plating. I'm gonna put inside the chicken pieces. So you can also put the vegetables that you simmered along with the wine to give it more fibers. However, it's completely optional. I like to serve the vegetables that I simmered the red wine in, because that gives my coca bean a little more of zest. I'm gonna pour in the sauce, a little bit more of the garnish, and like I said, I like to add a little bit of vegetables that are simmered along with the wine to go along with the coca win, and we serve this with bread. To garnish this, I have some beautiful parsley. So here I am presenting you coca win.